speaking of honesty, let's get into it. This is the Anxiety Issues Podcast. I am your host, Adam Taylor, a.k.a. The Big Ape, with my brother, my co-host, one of my favorite people that I admire in this world, Boneface of Boneface, Inc. And we're going to get into it today. No holds barred. We're going to kick it off. For those of you who don't know what you're watching a podcast that is obviously raw because we got phones going off.
Right.
But
it's not mine.
This is the Honesty Podcast. It's a safe space where you can talk about all the conversations that you should have with loved ones or friends, but we have it in a safe space. So everybody feel free to say what they want to say. And this particular episode 2, is polyamorous. Am I saying it right?
Yes.
Polyamory versus monogamy. So monogamy is obviously the standard relationship that we know in the U.S. today, one man, one woman. Polyamory, poly is Greek for, I think, several and many, and amory is love, correct?
Absolutely.
So that's loving several. Look at me with my education, you know what I'm saying? I learned something in school. But I'm going to kick it off this way. Instead of jumping right into it, I got a question for women that I want to know in general. And this is based on monogamy. We'll go around the room, that way it'll come back to me how it's supposed to. What do you think that's in a relationship for a man? What do you think, in your opinion, is... No, let's not even do men. What do women get out of relationships?
Wow.
Yeah, I just want to know the benefits that a woman thinks that she receives from entering a relationship with a man.
I think it depends on the woman. So
Right.
for me, being that I do my own thing, I have my own thing, I don't need anybody to help me financially in any sense. When I'm in a relationship because I really want to be with you.
Right.
Because I want your company, because I want to share my time with you, because I want to share things that I may not be able to share with like my friends or my kids. And you get out of a to get what you're getting out of the relationship is more than just comfort and friendship. It's just something deeper when you're in a relationship.
So it's the intimacy of companionship, basically.
Definitely. Intimacy is the big word. It's having that connection with that one person that you're completely wanting to always be around. And literally just like being in the same air.
Gotcha. And what would you say?
For me, I definitely say security. Friendship, I agree with everything you just said. But security is a big thing for me. And not like financial security, but like feeling safe with that person, being safe whether I'm with a man or a woman. That's what I look for. I can't speak for any other woman.
No, that's dope. And Bone, I guess what I'm trying to break down here is what everyone thinks the purpose is of a relationship for themselves personally. Do you think that there's any benefits for a man for being in a prototypical relationship?
I think it is, depending on the woman you're dating. Just the general, I think we have so many, we have a default version of what a relationship is supposed to be.
Right.
And from the default version, I don't think a man gets anything.
Right.
I feel like any relationship should have its own set of rules. It's just like when we download an app on our phone, you have terms and agreements that you have to agree to before you download that app.
Correct.
None of us know the Instagram terms and agreements. We just knew we wanted the app. So if somebody comes from Instagram and snatches all of the fucking news out of your phone and posts them publicly, you're going to be in court the next week trying to sue them.
Right.
Then they're going to pull out those terms and agreements and say, hey, you signed up for this.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So I feel like in a lot of situations, we meet somebody that we feel like we want to be with, and before we do a thorough investigation of who they are and what they want, we jump right into it.
Absolutely.
Without reading the terms and agreements, because we're willing to sacrifice whatever to be around that person or with that person. Later on down the line, shit happens and terms and agreements pop right back up. So I think we should go into relationships honestly, and I think that's the biggest thing in relationships nowadays, is that the honesty isn't there from the beginning. Everybody has a representative that shows up, and that representative remains for a little while, and then when they get comfortable with you, the representative leaves and the real person shows up.
And we definitely gonna get into that also.
But I feel like if I'm going to be in a relationship with somebody, for me personally, if I'm going to be in a monogamous relationship especially, you feel me? We have to be a team, and you have to bring something to the table that I don't have. You feel me? Because in a lot of situations, I feel like the man or the woman comes into the relationship bringing more than what the other person brings, and then you're not equally yoked.
Right.
But because you like that person, you feel like you could, and it don't usually work out that way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's usually sex or something like that that keeps it alive. But all of those things get old. So for me, we have to be a team, and you have to bring something to the team. If I can shoot, you better be able to dunk. If I can dunk, you better be able to shoot. You feel what I'm saying? So we have to match, and we have to be a team that equally brings something to the table. And if we can't do that, I'm just doing what they call it, George Clooney it. You feel what I'm saying? I'm just gonna be out here. I'm just gonna roll on my own, and I'm cool like that.
And I mainly feel like, and as harsh as this sounds, I don't feel like there's any benefits for a man to be in a relationship. I like the structure in itself, and I wonder how we got here. I question a lot of things, right? Mm-hmm. So I go back to when you ever watch a movie, a Game of Thrones or something like that, or medieval times or whatever. Men would go ravage a village, you know what I'm saying? And they would take to the victor go the spoils, is the saying, right? They'll take what they want. They hit a woman over the head and take the pussy if that's how they feel. And I'm not advocating for that, obviously. But I wonder how we get from that all the way to men having to literally lie about who they are to obtain the woman that they want to have. You understand? I feel like every man lies to get the woman he wants. And that's how that shit started. Somewhere along the line, some dude wanted a certain type of woman, maybe a woman he felt that was out of his league and he didn't, you know what I mean? And he had to conform to whatever that construct is that she wanted. You understand? If you want me, you got to leave this alone. You got to leave that alone. You understand? And he did it. And he bred a future full of fuck niggas from that point on. We all, and I'm not shitting on, obviously, like I said, I'm not advocating for rape or anything. I'm just giving you how shit used to be to the way shit is. You know what I mean? I feel like there has to be some middle. Like, I feel like men have to literally hide who they are to be in a relationship. When you find your man's porn stash, it's nothing like y'all fuck. The woman don't look nothing like you look. You understand what I'm saying? It's all a facade. Like you said, you send in a representative. You understand what I'm saying? And I feel like men, and it is our fault. You should be more truthful. You should, but if you are telling the truth, the chances of you obtaining the woman that you truly want is slim to none.
I feel like I think that's, like you said, it's our fault. But I think we all in general have to go back. Like, women have to go back and have a meeting with women. And men have to go back and have a meeting with men.
Right.
Because the thing about it is, the issue is this. It's not necessarily that we have to lie to obtain the woman we want. We have somebody out here giving out false signals of who we are.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's just like, let's say, for instance, I'm dating Viy and you dating her, right?
Right. Which I should be, but, you know, that's...
So let's say that's happening, right?
Yeah.
And me and Vi have a situation where I'm like, hey, this is who I am.
Yeah.
This is what a man is. And to stop from hurting her feelings or to make her comfortable with you, because she was out of your league from the beginning, you did anything you could do to get some shit that you shouldn't have.
Absolutely.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
And you lying to her, right? So when they have a conversation and she says, my man is this, my man is this, my man is this. You feel what I'm saying? And then somebody else says, my man is this, my man is this. And then she comes and say, my man is this. You feel me? So now they're in a group feeling like that men are different because you are different than me and the other people. You feel what I'm saying?
See, that's the conversation I had with you, the brief conversations that we've had on this particular issue. I know women want to feel like there's different types of men, but
there isn't.
There isn't. A man, it's a standard. It's like a car. It's going forward, reverse. But that's what you've been trained to look at. That's what you've been trained. Because honestly, how easy is this? I always tell women it's so easy if you just listen to get some pussy. All you have to do is listen and agree. When you go out with a woman, if she's willing to go out with you, you've already crossed the boundary. If she's giving you the number, if she's giving, you've already crossed the boundary. So from that point on, you can only fuck it up. When you go on a date with a woman, she's going to tell you what the last man did if you ask the right questions. She's going to tell you what she's looking for, what she don't like. And if you're a smart enough nigga, you'll say, yeah, I feel the same way. Even if you don't. And in her mind, I found what I was looking for. You're attractive. You believe in what I believe in. Whereas if you meet someone like me who will not argue you down, but just debate with you a little bit about it. I'm not trying to push back. I understand what you believe, but most of the men who you've met in your life have benefited from lying to you. You have something they want. You're attractive. You're beautiful. I want to get to a certain place with you. So we're going to cross certain topics that I know to steer away from. You understand what I'm saying? Which I don't know. I almost feel like, and you'll have to answer this for me. You can answer this too. I feel like women enjoy the facade. I believe deep down inside, y'all know that this man is not telling you the truth. that this can't be who he is. But the facade of it, I really feel like you guys enjoyed that part of it.
I don't think we enjoy it. And yeah, sometimes we do definitely see the facade, and I can see right through the BS and the I agree. I know what you're talking about. I feel you. I feel you.
Right.
We know it. It's just that, just like you guys, sometimes we already know what we want.
Absolutely.
And you know what? If I look at you a certain way and I like you and I want to do whatever I want to do, then I'm just gonna take your bullshit.
Right.
But if I don't, and I don't feel you that way, or if you just somehow, just like you said, fuck it up at that point, then I'm just gonna be like, yeah, no, I'll call you on the bullshit.
Right.
So most women, we know when you're saying lies, when you're trying to just get to that point, I guess. And either we will take it, or we'll say, nah, I'm not gonna do that.
So I think we neglect the fact sometimes that women want the same thing we want. You feel what I'm saying?
Agreed.
And
They
do. A lot of the times they do, bro. I think we spend way too much time telling women how women should be, and women spend way too much time telling men how men should be. We should do way more listening and a lot less fucking talking. As I grew older, because like now my pursuit is different than to just get some pussy. Like I'm past that. I'm too old for that. You feel what I'm saying? So Absolutely. It's a vibe. So in order for me to reach that vibe, it has to be some type of solid conversation and some type of solid bond. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of that, and what holds my interest in that is truth. You feel what I'm saying? Is being able to talk to somebody and be naked with them, in the sense of like open. You feel what I'm saying? But when you learn to be open, bro, I've had so many different things happen for me when I started telling the truth and started being open. That's when I got my first threesome. That's when I like everything. Right. Pandora's box open. You feel me? Which
threesomes are overrated? By
they are. But it's like, bro, I landed myself like in swingers clubs,
in
like
the room.
like whatever. But it's just like it. I've learned, bro, that like they are just as savage as we are in a sense. They have they have a side that's intimate and that wants to be with one person. Then they have a side that just wants to sleep with you too.
In the words of a Kanye West song, women want to come too.
Absolutely, but women need prerequisites to do that, though.
Not all of them.
But to meet that,
all of us do have prerequisites. There are some things that we're like, nah,
having.
Like,
you meet the occasional woman who will pet their dog just for no reason.
Right.
But them necessarily not the kind that you engage with. That you know what I mean? But look at me, I'm bucking.
I will say though that a man lying. You feel it only puts you in the negative. Because it's just like you say, you only can fuck it up at this point. Like she already had, like most of the time when a woman meets you, she knows within the first 30 minutes of conversating with you if you're going to get some ass or not. All you can do is fuck it up.
But you saying lying puts you in the negative.
Okay.
It does. Sometimes.
But I've been...
If you, well, I'm not even going to say lying. Being a bullshitter. Okay. And they can peep the bullshit. Like, because I think, bro, like women have the best radars for everything. They can tell when you gay first. They can tell when you lame first. They can tell everything first.
I disagree. Women are, if a woman is taught properly, absolutely. But I feel like women get trained by too many fuck niggas, too many bad people at times. You ever met a woman who swear to God she know what dudes think, or how they doing, like how they operate?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the biggest turn off for me. I got more pussy when I was willing to say whatever it took to get it. Now at this age, I really don't care that much. Like when I meet a woman, I love stories, I love vibes, I love to get into who you are. That's who I am at this point, right? So really, if we don't fuck, it really don't matter to me. So if we on a date and we having a conversation and you say some bullshit, and also me having a daughter has changed me too. I want to tell any woman I meet who's someone, because they're someone's daughter too, I want to tell them the information that I would tell my daughter. You see what I'm saying? So I'll sit at a table and I'll tell you something that is against whatever it is that you think you know and what you've been told. It's the biggest turnoff, brother. Women, I mean, in my experience, the fact that I am disagreeing with you, I've seen women go from I know I'm gonna fuck him tonight, like I don't want to fuck with him, only because I'm not gonna let you ride out with that stupid shit. That's not how it is. I know you think you know, and you've gotten to a point in life as a woman where you think you know and you got this shit down and you whatever, but you don't. Because most of the lessons you learn are from men who meant you no good anyway. That's true. You know what I mean?
That's true.
I agree.
So I want to teach. Every time I meet a woman now, I haven't met a woman who's told me a story in 13 years that I didn't think of my daughter first. Because I'm like, I can't say this shit, and I know my daughter gonna sit at this table like this at some point, and some man is gonna have the option of feeding her some bullshit or telling her the truth. Well, hopefully I've stepped in enough to avoid that. You know what I mean? But the purpose of this conversation is obviously monogamy versus polyamory, right? So you participate in polyamory type relationships. So like, kind of explain to us how that goes. It's a lot of viewers who have a whole bunch of misconceptions about how this may or may not operate.
Okay, well, one, polyamory is like not a binary structure. Okay,
Right.
like you could be on a spectrum. So whatever your needs and wants are is what you can have in the relationships. For me, she was just asking me, how many partners do you have? I don't know. Like, I literally don't know. Like, I have to go through my text message to see, like, how many people, like, I talk to. But everybody serves, like, a certain purpose. And not saying I'm using people. I'm not. I'm sapiosexual first and foremost. So, like, we have to connect on, like, a mental level for me to even get to a certain point with a person. But for me, polyamory, it's a beautiful thing because I get bored easily. So I have many people that I can talk to, many people that I can depend on, men and women. And I mean, it's beneficial to every party. Everybody knows what's going on.
But you weren't always this way.
I was not.
So you've tried monogamy.
I definitely tried.
And what was the straw that kind of made you say, this isn't for me?
Probably my ex-husband cheating on me. And was like, okay, so if he can't stay truthful with me, and then, like, my parents have been together for, let's see, what I said, 33 years, and like, but my daddy still look, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm like, nobody can stay true to, like, you get what I'm saying? Like that one person, so. Like,
but I mean, looking and touching are two different things. So he may be still monogamous.
It's spectrums of cheating, right? Everybody got their own version of cheating. My mama considers him looking at other women like a form of cheating, like they pastors too, so they probably got something to do with it too. But I mean, it's
Somebody asked me, they say, well, since you're single, don't you get tired of being alone? X, Y, Z, ABC, and I say, nah, not really, because at the end of the day, I'm not creating situations with people to where we just having sex. It's just like it's a vibe. I asked them, I said, well, if I was broke down at 3 o'clock in the morning, could I call you? Of course. I said, all right, well, if I needed a loan, something to pay my rent, could I call you? Of course. If I need somebody to hang out with, could I call you? Of course. I said, that's a relationship. You feel what I'm saying? I have many relationships. You feel what I'm saying? But just because they're not exclusive, I think people confuse exclusivity with loyalty. They're not the same thing.
No, not at all.
They're not the same thing. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. Because I have several people in my phone that can ask me for anything, and I perform the duties of what a husband may perform for them if they need me. You know what I'm saying? Right. But it's just like I'm not locked into them in a certain sense. And I think what keeps it interesting is that when you have those type of situations, you're forced to wake up and work for that person every day. When you get in a relationship or a marriage, you're not forced to work because it's almost an obligation to do these things. Absolutely. But if you have no ties to me, you feel what I'm saying? Right. And I can leave you at any moment. Guess what? That good morning text gonna keep coming.
Right.
That how you doing, King, gonna keep coming.
Right.
And vice versa with me. Like all of the efforts that I put in to get to a certain situation with you, a certain point with you, those things have to keep going, and I have to keep putting that energy for it. And you don't get that in relationship because you know this person ain't going nowhere. You've been together 7-8 years. Sure. They ain't got no other options. They ain't been talking to nobody else, and it's stale. You feel what I'm saying? So my thing is, the only thing that would ever make me consider a monogamous relationship is something it happens organically. You feel what I'm saying? To where I wake up every morning and I look around and say, damn, I've been with this woman for 6 months straight. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? And so that's just like it has to happen organically. And I think we force things, and a lot of times we force ourselves in situations that aren't good for us because we just want something. We feel like we should be with somebody. We should be in a certain place. We should be acting a certain way. But at the end of the day, all of this shit is programming and it's all taught. Because in other cultures, they have it to where having 8 or 9 wives is a regular thing, and the wives don't think a certain way because they weren't programmed.
They're
that way.
just as happy in those situations, if not happier than a person here living through
100%.
But you talk to me about nature all the time. You talk in analogies, and I understand that way too. I communicate in the same way. So you always use animals as an example. Like, humans are just another form of animals. There's certain things that we're conditioned to do, certain things that we're built to do. I do not believe that it is natural for a man to be monogamous. I do not believe that we were created that way. I do not believe we were designed that way whatsoever. And the logic I use is you can look around the world, any country, men go to war over stuff. Men kill millions of people over disagreements and misunderstandings, different religions, whatever we're disagreeing on, right? But you can go to any country, and the more women, the merrier to men. We can all meet up in a room no matter what race or religion. If we having a man conversation in general, we all agree on that, though. You understand what I'm saying? But I do not feel that monogamy is natural for a man, and this is the example that I use. I always say this, though. If I was walking down the street, right, let's say Bang Bros is a popular porn company, right? And the nigga was standing outside in this random door. He's like, hey, man, come here real quick. And I went over there. He's like, hey, man, we're giving back to the fans today. You know what I mean? Bang Bros giving back to the fans. Listen, I got 10 women right here, 5 of them beautiful, 2 of them all right, and 3 of them, they just in there. We don't know where they came from, but they tested, they clean, and the only thing is, you gotta fuck them all. Ask me what I'm gonna do.
You gonna fuck them all.
I'm gonna fuck them all.
Every one of them.
And most men, if single, most men, if single, they would do the same thing. Fuck it, single. Most men would do the same thing.
All you had to do was clean.
Regardless of all they had to do.
All you had to do was clean.
All they had to do was get clean, and we good to go. We running it, right? And as a matter of fact, I'm gonna enjoy this situation so much. I'm gonna tell this story on my wedding day when we back there putting on our tux and shit like that. I'm like, man, you remember that one time I fucked them 10 hoes, man? That shit was crazy, man. It's about time I get married. That's an enjoyable story for me and my homeboys. I might even share that with my wife one day. Baby, you don't believe what I have. Now, right. But because women don't generally care about your past, they just care about what you gonna do from me forward. You understand? You could have fucked a million hoes before me, but hey, brother, make sure I'm the final. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the sad part about that though is that it doesn't work that way when it comes to a woman.
Right.
If I go and tell you, yeah, I fucked about 10,000 dudes, what's your reaction going to be?
I'm out of here.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so it's a major double standard. So, and this is the reason for why I know that, yes, I understand that for men, they can be monogamous, and I get that. And it does have to happen organically. And when it does, you know that this is the person. And that's just what it is. Now, for a woman, it's a little different. I kind of feel like, and I know maybe it might be my upbringing and my parents being Catholic and being very strict and having all this whatever. But I've been raised in a sense where I feel like I have to present a certain way. And I have to be a certain way. And I can't be anywhere where somebody can just point at me and be like, I fucked that hoe.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, for a man to be with a woman and, be in a place where somebody can be like, yeah, I fucked her.
Yeah.
Like it's a no. It's a huge no. Now, for a woman to be with a man that, is considered the man, he's handsome, he don't fuck half the fucking town, and it's all good. It's cool.
It is cool.
It's a double standard. So if it almost is as if we have to be monogamous in a certain way, in a sense, but you guys get to play.
But it's
so,
go ahead.
But who you playing with?
Because that's a great point.
Who you playing with? I'm just saying, who you playing with?
It's definitely a great point. But the double standard thing, I feel like I hate that word.
I do. Oh man,
but
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why.
It's 2 words.
Why I hate those words.
Yeah.
I was watching football today, and Vanderbilt had the first female kicker come onto the field.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So she played kicker. All right, cool. Would it have been wild if she would have came in as a linebacker and somebody would have cleaned her ass up the first play? Everybody would have been like, you feel me? Yeah. So my thing is like, if a woman puts her hands on me and I deck her, I'm wrong because I put my hands on a woman. You feel me? So I feel like double standards are something that people use when it's convenient, but double standards, my thing is this. We're all designed a certain way. Women are designed a certain way, and men are designed a certain way.
You're created to operate a certain way.
A certain way. So my thing is, when I'm functioning as a man, and I hate toxic masculinity. I hate that too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I hate that too.
Absolutely.
So it's like when I'm functioning as a man, you know what I'm saying, and doing the things that men do. You know what I'm saying? This society has deemed like they're trying to throw us all in the pot together. No, we can go to the gym together. You and I, we can work out every day together. You feel me? I'm always going to be stronger than you.
Oh, yeah.
No matter what you do.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's that way for a reason. So I hate when people bring in double standards because it's just like when it's time for those everything to be equal in certain situations, a woman is like, oh no, that's your job. I'm like, nah, if we even, we even. You feel me? Let's split these bills.
But that's
Let's
the thing,
both take the trash out. Let's both wash the dishes. Let's both fix these cars. Let's
But you
do
see,
all this.
So I do get that. Don't get me wrong. I get that. But you see, I'm built a different way.
Right.
I'm built to where I do feel like a woman has her space and the man has his space. That I feel like I cook in my house. I clean in my house. My husband goes outside and takes out the trash. He cleans the car. He messes with the lawn or whatever. Like but I'm a different breed. I'm different from a lot of women, especially nowadays, that believe that we're equal. We're not. I get that, and I understand that. I have my space, and you have your space. And now, if you don't wear your pants in the house, then I'm gonna wear them, and then I have no need for you.
Right. But is that at the end of the day though? Is that like selective? In a sense, because it's just like you just named all these things that a woman, you feel like a woman is supposed to do, and you feel like a man is supposed to do.
No, what I'm saying, and no, don't get me wrong, because yes, I definitely say about the double standard. My thing is,
not to cut you. I just love your vibe. That's why I have multiple people. I don't have to deal with this shit. I feel what y'all saying. This is a monogamy argument. Yeah, go ahead.
What I'm saying is that I'm okay with the fact that yes, a man has his place, and yes, I understand that you're not necessarily built to be monogamous, but you're not being monogamous with a woman. So you can't sit here and not be okay with me fucking 10,000 dudes after you.
But
10,000 chicks.
Yeah, let me address. Let me address. Okay,
so that's why.
But there's just certain things though that you just can't.
So that's why I say it's selective. Is because if a man comes to you and a man says that this is what men are, you feel what I'm saying? And you just told me all the things that a woman should be and a woman should do and a man should do, and I'm saying, hey, add this to the list. We're not monogamous. You feel what I'm saying? And the thing about it, women, let's say for instance, you feel like women are monogamous. Just because I tell you that men aren't monogamous doesn't mean you can change what you feel like women are. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? 'Cause that's when it becomes selective, in my opinion.
But see, this is what the analogy was going to be about. But great points. You brought up things that I was definitely going to address. Double standards are words that people create when they doing shit that they ain't supposed to be doing. You understand what I'm saying?
What's the word, what they always say? With all due respect,
did not disrespect you. Yeah. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yes, we are. No, we're not equal, but we're all equally as important. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So gender roles are one thing, purpose is another. I gave the 10-woman analogy to show you that all 99.9% of nothing's absolute. There's always one square to be like, I can't fucking do it. But you understand what I'm saying? But most men would. Heavy majority. You understand what I mean? So the flip analogy of it is, if you're walking past this room, and I'm going to ask you a question, answer honestly. You're on camera, right? So you walking past this room, and Bang Bros out there with the same thing, and they see you, and be like, come here, you're a gorgeous woman, I got this thing we giving back, right? It's 10 handsome motherfuckers in there. I'm talking about whatever you find handsome, picture the 10 finest men that you've ever seen in your life in the room. They all tested, oiled up, ready to go. Everything just like you like it. And they say the only thing is you got to fuck all 10. You doing?
I'm not.
No chance.
Exactly.
No chance.
And even if you did, I was going to...
I'll gladly watch, girl.
Y'all got rubbers?
Yeah, exactly. We clean. But here's the thing.
I will gladly watch.
Right. But I would say a heavy majority, 80, I guess 20% would pet their dog if they had the option. But most women would not do it. You understand? And even if they did it, they definitely not going to regurgitate that story in any other setting. You understand what I'm saying? Right. And I say it's not a double standard because I can walk in a room, I can go to a men's conference right now, and they could be like, "Oh, you Adam? Man, I remember you fucked about 1,000 hoes in school." I'd be like, "Yeah, that's me, dog, but that ain't me no more. But appreciate you. You know what I mean?" Now you can walk in a room and they be like, "Wilma,
frowned upon.
Man, girl, you fucked." Now listen, you at a woman's conference, ain't no men in the room. Yeah. And it's gonna be a bunch of women like that. Man, fuck that 1,000. Oh my God. Right. So from your
women are the worst. Women are more. They're a lot more judgmental.
But don't look at it as a negative. The reason why this is because women are more important than men.
In that sense, especially.
Yes, you are to operate differently because you are more important.
Wait, but that doesn't make any sense though, because you're still doing it
I'm
with
about
a
to-
woman.
I'm
You're
about
still
to give
doing
you-
it with another woman.
Yeah, I am doing it to another, but we doing it one at a time. If I'm number one on your list, cool. If you let me be 10, that's different. But let me.
And the woman is choosing in this situation.
Yeah, exactly.
You can go to the zoo and watch animals function, right? I took my kids to the zoo, and we was over by the gazelle, and it was like 4 or 5 male gazelles, and it was this one female gazelle. I guess she was in heat or whatever, and every male was trying to mount her. But it was like she had to choose and she had to accept one. You feel me? And whoever she accepted was willing and ready. And that's kind of how men and women function. It's just like, for me to enter you, you have to invite me. You feel what I'm saying? We are the invited. We are not the ones who are inviting. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why that's what makes it different.
And
Is that
everyone
you
loves-
are the prize. We're not.
And everyone loves an exclusive party. The line is around the corner for an exclusive.
Right. And you want to be the only one to get in that VIP.
Just like
Yeah. But it's just like you are the VIP. The VIP ain't outside the club in the line. We in the line. Y'all are the VIP. So it's just like I understand 100% why a woman would want a man to be exclusive, because it's like, brother, it's a bunch of people outside that line that want to be in this party.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. But it's just like I'm telling you that all these men in this line in this party gonna get in another line like next week. You feel what I'm saying? Because this is what we do. You feel what I'm saying? But it's just like, it's who you choose. You guys are the prize. When it comes to women, bro, I hold y'all at the highest level in that category when it comes to like physical interaction.
Which is not always fair to women. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes we give them a harder time for making mistakes or bad judgments. You know what I mean? Bad judgment calls.
Right.
Which we shouldn't. But I tell women, everything about sex is so much more important for you than it is for me. Men fuck like putting on a pair of pants. I do it all day, every day. I gotta wear pants. It's no big deal. There's no feeling.
So my question is for you though. Is it the same for you? How does that? How is it? No, I'm just saying.
That was gonna be my question.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, definitely is what he says. But for you, how is that?
Yeah, this was the question I was gonna ask directly, and it's the same question she's asking.
Okay.
Like, I feel like even when a woman functions as a man, it's still uncomfortable. So I wanted to know, like, do you have any moments to where you're dealing with several different partners or several different men to where you lay up with one? Let's say, for instance, I'm one of your dudes and he one of your dudes, and I call you and we do our thing earlier that day, you know, and he's your dude too.
I'm gonna need you to tell me that
he ready to come clean. He ready to come do his thing too. You feel what I'm saying? So you do it with him too. I'm just like, at some point, does that feel uncomfortable?
No.
Okay.
It feels really natural to me. I can't even lie. Like,
right. And I go back and I ask that because it goes back to what I'm saying is that programming. I think we're all, it's just like a computer when you buy it in the store. If you go to Walmart right now and buy a computer, it's gonna be blank. There's not gonna be anything on it. Whatever you save to it or whatever sites you search, it's gonna get used to that and it's gonna be in that cache. You feel what I'm saying? And it's gonna start remembering those sites. So when you start typing them in, they're gonna come up a little bit quicker. You know what I'm saying? And that computer is whatever you put on it. So I feel like we're all blank hard drives. So I can understand completely what she's saying. And most of us can't fathom that because we're not programmed the same way. But it's just like, I just feel like we all have different programming. And when you set your programming to a certain thing, and it's so the hardest thing in the world, that's why I got to give you credit, because the hardest thing in the world is to unlearn your programming or erase your programming.
Right,
you feel what I'm saying? If
But
you switch religions, you always take a little bit from your last religion with you.
But that's not a blank canvas though. She gets that from whatever her experiences were and realizing that this isn't for me.
Right.
And which I think is dope, and a misconception that I would love for you to explain is like, people feel like people in poly relationships don't crave intimacy, that it's about sex. But I feel like, just my personal opinion and my experiences that I've had with women who live that lifestyle, they crave intimacy just as much. They're just willing to get it from multiple places. You know what I mean? So do you have a situation where, what do you do when you find yourself catching feelings and you fall in love and it's just a
I have feelings with all my partners. Like, I love all of them.
equally? You don't have favorites. You don't have. Oh yeah, okay.
No.
Bad question to post on.
I plead the film.
Got you. But
take that shot. That was
hey, listen. Speaking of that, that is a good shot. Nah, that's a great shot moment. I think we should.
But I think that to go behind what she said though is that every one of them serve a purpose. So you love them for the purpose that it, for the purpose that it serves.
Absolutely.
Thank you. So that makes more sense.
Yes.
But I don't know how to that programming part, or not even the programming, just
I had to unlearn monogamy. Like, I mean, both
Yeah.
my parents are pastors.
Mm-hmm.
Christian.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yes. Okay. So I was in a strict ass household too.
Right.
Yeah.
And I thought I had to be monogamous, get married, you know, do everything in a specific order. But when I found out, you know, my ex-husband, you cheated, you had a whole affair, like, you know, like you went outside of the order, you know.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's like, shit, it is what it is. And then like my ex, let's see, from 4 years ago, his name is Oblique. I hope he listens to this. But anyway, he introduced me to polyamory.
Go on,
So,
tell it, shout out to, what's his name again so I can shout him out? I need you to teach a class, please.
Go ahead.
Nah, I was just saying I need what's his name again?
Oblique.
Oblique?
Like
the shit?
Yeah.
I ain't never heard that. But shout out to Oblique. I need you to teach a master class. However you broke the stallion, brother. Come teach us what we doing wrong. I need to know what's going on.
yeah.
But shout out to him. But yeah, go ahead. What you want him to hear?
You were talking
Oh,
about
my background. So he brought me into the polyamory lifestyle, and I remember him saying this one thing. He said, when you see a flower, when you walk by it, you admire its beauty, right? Yeah, if you pluck the flower from the ground, it ceased to live. You know what I'm saying? So it's like seeing people as like not your possession. Nobody's your possession. No, nobody belongs to us. So I just come to think that, you know, nobody belongs to me.
Can't believe that nigga got that off.
Yeah,
That
that's
was
what
a plug.
Instagram
Plug
means.
it.
Yeah.
That's Instagram
I'd
means.
have fucked that up, bitch. When you see a grass and you cut the grass, bitch, is it not a lawn? I'm not fucking with this nigga.
What's funny though is that
This nigga.
I agree with that though.
Yeah.
I agree with that, and that's the biggest thing with me is that, bro, we all getting in our own casket, bro, and none of us belong to each other, bro. We just we should be experiencing. We should be experiencing each other. You know what I'm saying? And not possessing each other. And I think that's the thing that takes the joy out of everything. That's why most relationships are most beautiful in the beginning stages when no one belongs to anybody.
Right.
But once you start claiming ownership and possession of a person, it gets weird, because the one thing that we crave more than anything, whether we believe it or not, is our natural freedom. You feel me? Is our just free will. Everybody likes free will. Absolutely. Just like right now, if somebody told you, hey, 12, man, you know it's a capsule around the earth and we never gonna be able to leave this bitch. You feel me? And they told that to the world, everybody would freak out. But who the fuck was leaving Earth anyway? You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's just a notion of understanding that you're being trapped in something versus you being able to choose. We Americans, we love the illusion of freedom. We are the most enslaved country but we live under the illusion of freedom. I went to Australia. They don't have the illusion of freedom. I went to China. They don't have the illusion of freedom. They know their government runs them. They know that they're under the government law. You feel me? We don't understand that yet. So when anytime somebody nudges or takes the veil or the cloak off that we have over our illusion of freedom, we freak out. But at the end of the day, just like right now, they say, hey, put a mask on everywhere you go and don't leave your house. You know what I'm saying? That tells you right then and there you weren't ever free in the beginning if somebody can just suddenly take everything that you felt like you were free about. So it's the same thing in relationships, bro. You can keep a woman forever as long as you make her feel like she's free. You feel what I'm saying? If you know how to put on the illusion of freedom,
he had the same look when he said that. Like,
but that's what the illusion. A relationship is that.
I got a story now. We about to take it there with my story though, but I'm not gonna tell it right now. I want to know because we're gonna come back to the ownership thing. That's a big point that he gave an amazing analogy that I clearly would have fucked up, but I got the point. I got the point of it though. You understand? But my question to you is, after hearing that situation, do you think you would ever be open to a man broaching this topic with you?
I don't think so.
But is it your dominance? Is it your pride? Is it your?
Honestly,
feel like
I
I'm
think
not
it goes
enough.
back to that whole the possession.
Mm-hmm.
Can be, and I know this about me, and this is why I can be very possessive of the things that I love and the things that I want and the things that I feel like I have a hold of. Even with my kids, I tell them, I have a 20-year-old and I tell her all the time, you belong to me. And that's just what is always going to be. I'm going to be 100 and you're going to be 80, and I'm still going to be your mom, and you're still going to belong to me.
Right.
So I maybe in my relationships feel the same way in a sense. Now, I don't feel like I need to go through your phone. I don't feel like I need to smother you. I don't feel like I need to be with you 24/7. No, I don't even care what you're doing most of the time, honestly, as long as I know that we have an understanding and that I know that you're not going to, I don't know, veer from that, and that you're not going to go and be with somebody else or whatever. I'm good. I don't need a 24/7 schedule of what you're doing. But I do have a very possessive personality. Okay. Right. And I don't know if I can ever.
Okay, I got a question, right? Okay, so you're married. You've been married 25 years, all right? Your husband dies, okay? Best husband you've ever had in your life. Big house, insurance policy, raise kids together, whole nine yards, right? And you get to his funeral, you get up there and you give your speech. He was a great man, great father, great so-and-so and so-and-so. Never did this, never did that. I never had to worry about him stepping out on me. He was amazing, right? Mm-hmm. Boom. Then when you sit down, another woman goes up, says everything you just said. She sits down. Another woman goes up, says everything you just said. She sits down. Another woman goes up, says everything you just said. How do you feel about him now?
I don't know. I can shoot. I mean, it is.
Which is a heck of a situation to be in right now.
So
I
that's
mean, I'm going to be angry. We might have to fight while you're in this casket.
I'm gonna have to ask that dead nigga some questions. Like, hey, I gotta ask that nigga something.
So that goes back to what I was saying, is that I say we enjoy the illusion of things.
Right.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, a person could give you everything you ever desired. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And your tank be full. You can't even hold no more gas. But you found out he put gas in somebody else's tank.
And
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now suddenly your tank ain't full.
But listen, and I'm gonna say this shit for the world to hear clearly. 90% of us are in poly relationships. We just don't know.
Absolutely. Oh my God.
Listen, I'm just letting you know. Listen.
Everybody's thank you for bursting my bubble.
And I can give you examples out of the ass. And when I tell you, and there is no type to this shit. People think cheating is just right up the street. Motherfucker got names in their phone. I know white boys. I'm talking about Bass Pro shirt wearing motherfuckers. They don't look cool at all. They take vacations to fuck bitches by the dozens. Costa Rica, Thailand, they'll kiss their wives goodbye, get on that business plane, and they fuck prostitutes 5, 6 at a fucking time. Do you hear me? And go on this shit annually. I seen a dude we picked, and I'm snitching right now, but I'm not saying no names. I used to work with a guy that we picked up from his house, and it blew my mind because I'm thinking I know all about players and whatever. We picked this dude up. I used to work in New Orleans. Picked him up from his house. Beautiful home, beautiful family. Wife met him at the door, kids. All right, daddy, enjoy work, right? We get to the hotel. Our boat late. So obviously we got a little extra time. So they knew that they couldn't leave me because they didn't personally know me, and I'm standoffish. You see what I'm saying? So they didn't know if I was gonna snitch on them or not, which I wouldn't have, but they gotta make sure. So like, hey man, you wanna come with us? Like, come with y'all where? We going to the Asian massage parlor. Like, bitch, I don't want no massage, nigga. No, nigga, I don't think you understand. They ain't massaging backs. Right. Now, this the motherfucker I just saw kiss his wife and kids goodbye. Beautiful, perfect American family. Just left him and couldn't wait to get the ling-ling. You hear me? And she wipe him up. And after he skied, she wipe him up with a warm towel, clean him up, and send him back on about his business. I never know why a goofy motherfucker like me will be fucking the bitch up the street and come back down smelling like pussy. You see what I'm saying? This shit is so, women don't understand how deep this shit is. So many women are in relationships. You are in a poly relationship, you have no fucking idea.
I just think that there's a difference though. You going to have sex with some random bitch from time to time is a whole different situation. Versus you like being in an actual relationship.
Absolutely.
I think that's what we're getting wrong here, because for me, and I'm sorry, I'm going to say it, my husband will literally put his dick on fire to me still to this day and say that he never cheated on me. But I know he cheated on me.
Gotta take it to the grave, son.
He's admitted to it once and twice here and there. But then another conversation, he say, I never cheated on you, baby. I love you, and all this. And I know he loves me, and I get it. Sex itself is not necessarily you cheating on me. or you being polyamorous.
Right.
I think that it's more that you went and got and fell in love and had a relationship, and this is a whole different thing.
Yeah.
Sex, definitely, I don't want you having sex with everybody and their mama, but at the same time, I can maybe understand if you one day were gone, whatever, needed it, and I don't find out about it, okay. But at the same time, to have a whole relationship with someone else, that emotional connection,
Yeah, that's what kills.
is
But
what kills.
I agree with her.
That is what kills you.
I do agree that is cheating, not just fucking somebody. Because it's, and I tell girls all the time, it's a nigga who fucking you today. Like, I don't understand girls cheating on their man. Your side, if you're cheating on your man because he don't care about you, right? Why fuck a nigga who care about you less? I've been a side nigga several times. Bitch, if you got hit by a bus the next day, I'm like, man, that's cool, but what we going to eat today? I really don't care, though. You see what I'm saying? But that's cool. You don't belong to me. You understand what I'm saying? So I totally understand. If a man has an emotional connection with somebody, that is cheating. But we cannot value. I think women want us sometimes to value what they value. You understand? If you go to another country and let's say they value cows over money, that's their god. Cows is what they, right? And if they want to honor you, they're going to give you a cow. You don't give a fuck about a cow, but it's everything to them. You see what I'm saying? Men love with the things that we care about. Our money, because we put time and energy into our money. Our time, you understand what I'm saying? Time is the biggest thing. How men love. If we can make time for you and put shit aside, that is the biggest thing. We commit to you in so many other ways. It's just that sex is not something that we honor nowhere close to as much as y'all do.
I like to say it like this. I tell people all the time, I say, LeBron James, NBA player, plays for the LA Lakers. When he puts on the NBA LA Lakers jersey and they go into the Staples Center and they play, he's playing to win the championship. You know, it's serious business, not out here bullshitting. He's not trying shit that he tried at the park. He's not doing none of that. It's strictly business. But LeBron still enjoys playing at the YMCA because that relieves him of the stress of playing in the NBA sometimes. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because a relationship is work sometimes, and it's serious. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's just like sometimes a motherfucker needs some recreation to appreciate the serious shit. You know what I'm saying? Because there's people in the park who play every day at the YMCA that wish they could play for the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? But they don't qualify. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's just like sometimes for us, like sex is, for me, sex can be recreational or it could be serious. Yeah. It could be intimate, it could be serious, or it could be recreational. When it's recreational, it's just like a game at the park. I don't remember what the fuck the score was. I don't remember who scored what. I was just out there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It was some shit to do. But when I'm out here for the Lakers, I know how many points I had. I know how many rebounds I had. I know how many more I need to get to reach a certain point, and I know what I need to do to win a championship. So it's like when I'm with my woman, we plan to win a fucking championship. When I'm at the YMCA, that shit was recreational. And it's like I need that shit sometimes to stay sane in the real games. Yeah. Because if everything was serious all the time, I would fucking go nuts.
I agree. And I think that was, to answer the question that you asked about my husband being the best husband and then other women coming up. It would that would be a problem because not only did you share my time, but you also shared the things that you were supposed to be sharing with me.
I get it.
That
100%.
I will definitely. Now, if some heifer comes up and just says, "Oh yeah, I fucked him," you know, so and so year and this and that month, once or twice, now I'm gonna be like, okay, was it good? You know, there's a difference. Now, when you're sharing the love that you're supposed to have for me and that I'm supposed to be sharing with you, that is what I'm not able to do. That is what I feel like monogamy is about.
Right.
It's not necessarily the sex.
Right.
Sex for a man is very different than what it is for a woman. And I think not every woman, I don't know how you feel about it, or but I know that you said that you do have a connection with, you know, every one of your partners. So definitely sex is a lot more meaningful to you than it may be for men. Because we attach our emotions to it. We attach ourselves and our feelings to it. So that is the difference. And I get that for men, sex is just a, you know, one and done and I'm good.
Not all the time.
Not at all.
Of course. But I mean, there's, you guys don't take it as seriously all the time as we do.
Right.
And
I just wonder why women request, and I've had this experience in my life. So why do women request monogamy when that's such a load to take on? Like, I've been in relationships. I had a 7-year relationship, which was a long one for me, and then the next one was a 3-year relationship, and I was monogamous. I was faithful in both of them. You understand? But what I found out is it's like, no, listen, I know the way I talk, but listen, I have these conversations with my woman. I never put myself above no man. I'm not the fuck nigga that come home and you tell me about the dude at work and what he did to his wife, and then I put myself over him. Like, boy, I would never. I'm like, listen, I understand where that man's coming from. That's just not the position that I choose to take with you. You understand what I'm saying? I have my 7-year relationship. I was madly in love. You remember? You know what I mean? A bitch couldn't have made me cheat on her. You understand? But I still had the same feelings. But my thing is, why do women request this? And she requested that kind of monogamy, but yet my full sexual desires, when placed on her, she couldn't occupy. She didn't want to deal with that space. My full sexual desires now go to you. You my only person. So I don't want to feel like sex is a chore. The worst feeling ever, brother, is to ask for some pussy from your old lady. I can't stand it, brother.
I'm gonna tell you a story though. Yeah. When I really learned, like I think Asian people are the most least divorced people on the planet.
Right.
I think so. I'm not sure. We might have to fact check, but I think so because they usually these motherfuckers stay together forever. I went to China, and it made me realize why people don't get divorced. There's 2 things that break up relationships: money and monogamy, like cheating. You feel what I'm saying? Right. So it's just like when if you got a decent bag, money is off the table. So prostitution is legal in China. You know what I'm saying? So it's easy for a husband to go somewhere, get his rocks off, and go home. And because it's legal, just like we don't think about smoking weed as a big deal anymore. It's just like they don't think of sex as a big deal. So that's not a deal breaker for them. You know what I'm saying? Like you say, it's more so like, motherfucker, you got a whole nother family across town? Yeah. Oh, no. You know what I'm saying? So it's the difference. And that was one experience that made me understand, like, why relationships work and don't work. And then another was I went to a swingers club. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. And I watched how these people function. I sat in, just had drinks, and just with a partner of mine, me and her went in, we sat in, watched people, we like just people watch. And it just made me understand, like, bro, once you take the things that break people apart off the table, then you have no fucking issue. These are the most flourishing relationships in the city. You feel what I'm saying? And it's because they've taken these things off the table and faced them head on. You know what I'm saying? And they've had conversations about what they really desire and what they don't desire. The issue is when we sit with each other and you know as a man, bro, you're not built a certain type of way. And you sit here and you give your woman false signals. You know what I'm saying? Women can take way more than men think they can.
No, absolutely.
But you just gotta
they deal with pain way, but
you gotta be fucking honest with them and let them
better than we do.
And we gotta stop running from tears. You feel me? Tears ain't always a bad thing. If you tell your woman how you feel and she cries, let her fucking cry. Let her think about it. She'll come back to you the next day, and then you can have a real conversation. You know what I'm saying? But women are emotional, so emotional shit is going to happen, but don't run when the emotional shit happens. You know what I'm saying? So I just think, like, at the end of the day, bro, once we start being honest with each other about who we are as men and women, things will flourish and work a lot better. But the issue is we all lying to each other. And it's just like I hate to even have one of my homies come to me. Like, for me, if you got a girl and you my homie, I ain't got no smoke for you. I ain't going to put you on no women. I ain't gonna take you nowhere to cheat. I ain't doing none of that. You feel what I'm saying? Because I want to help you thrive. But the thing about it is, like, bro, if you come to me like, bro, where the hoes at? I'm gonna be like, bro, get out of your situation. Because you ain't got no business in it if you're looking for the hoes. I'm gonna
take you, buddy. It's cool. Yeah.
But it's like, I ain't got nothing for you.
I feel you, though.
Yeah, I ain't got nothing for you, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, bro, at the end of the day, if you want to do what you want to do and that woman don't agree with it, be single. It's like we spend so much time fighting for shit that's not right for us or that don't fit us. Bro, I went at my mom story. My mom bought me some fucking Patrick. I was trying to get some Patrick Ewings, bro, from Payless. You feel me? And I went in there. This was the only name brand shoe Payless had was the Patrick Ewing.
Absolutely.
You feel me? They name brand to this day. I go in there, bro. I wore a size 10 and a half. They had a 10. I tried them on, bro. Them bitches did not fit.
But you wanted them shoes. I
wanted them shoes so fucking bad that I told her when she told me to walk in, I did the little duck walk.
I'm good.
She was like, yeah. She like, you look like they hurt. I'm like, nah, hell no, they don't hurt. Yeah. She bought me the shoes, bro. Went to school a whole fucking week in them shoes, bro. My feet were fucked up. I'm hurting. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, bro, from that lesson I took this, bro. I'm like, bro, never am I ever gonna put myself in an uncomfortable situation to look good in front of everybody else or to make somebody else happy. You know what I'm saying, bro? If the shoes don't fit, take them the fuck off. If a woman is beautiful and all these other things that you desire, but she doesn't see eye to eye with the way you are, leave her the fuck alone. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? And vice versa. That's what we need to start doing. And once we can do that, we good.
Gotcha. Well, we're going to take a quick break. We got to wrap some things up. We may or may not come back. I don't know. We got to wrap. But a quick question before we wrap it up. So 2 different women on both sides of the table. You know what I mean? Obviously got 2 different views. Why both of y'all think I cheated when I said I was faithful, though? Y'all looked at me. Both of y'all looked at me the same way. Like, damn, I can't be faithful then.
Oh, man.
That's what's
and
up.
And you're light-skinned and handsome.
Oh, that's what's up. I'll take that, though. So if you light-skinned and handsome, you ain't no good, though. That's why dark-skinned niggas winning, man. All right, Anxiety Issues Podcast, man. Episode 2. Thank y'all for coming out, man. I really appreciate y'all showing up. Sure. Great episode. Yeah.
Y'all are dope, man. Y'all are dope.
Absolutely.
I learned a lot. And I just I'm a talkative motherfucker. I had to tell him last time, bro. I gotta stop fucking over talking. I gotta stop over talking people and let people talk. And it's just like, I'm proud of myself because I sat here tonight and I fucking listened.
Hey.
And I took a little something from it. You feel me?
Absolutely.
You can't learn them when you talking. So.
I did too. So I have to say, before coming here, I was talking to my ex and he says, well, maybe somebody will say something that'll change your mind and make you a little polyamorous. I'm like, yeah.
Nah, you finna come on the same way. You finna be like, so how did it go, nigga? It's the same. You can't do nothing, nigga. It's just, it was fun. But,
It was fun, but it's still the same.
Oh, man. That's what's up, man. All right, appreciate y'all tuning in. Anxiety Issues Podcast, episode 2. Y'all stay tuned for the next episode. Any questions, anything you guys want to add in, we take all criticism, man. Please go follow us on Instagram at Anxiety Issues Podcast, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. It's Adam Taylor, my co-host, my brother Boneface, and we'll see y'all next time, man.
Your boy, they waiting on who next.